Most people fail on the carnivore diet because they're unknowingly losing muscle. If you're seeing your strength drop or feeling weaker, you're probably making one of these 5 huge mistakes. Stick around because hash 1 is a complete game changer. If you're on the carnivore diet and you're seeing your gains disappear, trust me, you are not alone. The truth is, the carnivore diet can be amazing for building a lean muscular physique, but only if you do it right. There are a few crucial mistakes that I see people making all the time that can totally sabotage your progress. We're talking about those sneaky little slip-ups that can turn your muscle-building journey into a muscle-losing nightmare. And the worst part, most people don't even realize they're making these mistakes. That's why I'm breaking it all down for you today. Stay till the end because mistake number 1 is what 90% of people get wrong. Let's jump right in. This one might seem counterintuitive, especially on a diet that's supposed to make you feel full and satisfied, right? But here's the deal. A lot of people dive headfirst into the carnivore diet, load up on those delicious fatty cuts of meat, and end up feeling so full that they actually end up eating way less than they need to. See, fat is incredibly satiating. It signals to your brain that you're full and satisfied, which is great for controlling hunger, but not so great when you're not eating enough total calories to support muscle growth. Remember, building muscle requires a calorie surplus, meaning you need to be eating more calories than you're burning. Now, this doesn't mean you need to stuff yourself silly, it just means you need to be mindful of your overall calorie intake. Are you tracking your calories? Are you consistently hitting your macros? If you find yourself constantly feeling stuffed and struggling to eat enough, it might be time to adjust your approach. Experiment with different meal timing strategies. Maybe you need to space out your meals a bit more or add in an extra meal to make sure you're getting enough calories throughout the day. Listen, I get it. The carnivore diet can be a game changer for your body composition. You start shedding fat, your energy levels are through the roof, and you feel amazing overall. But that doesn't mean you can just kick back, relax, and let the diet do all the work for you, especially when it comes to building muscle. Here's the cold, hard truth. If you're not actively challenging your muscles through resistance training, you're going to lose them. It's as simple as that. Your body adapts to the demands you place upon it. If you're not giving it a reason to hold on to that hard-earned muscle mass, it's going to say, peace out. So what's the solution? Hit the weights, my friend, and hit them hard. Aim for at least 3 to 4 days of strength training per week, focusing on compound movements that work for multiple muscle groups at once. Squats, deadlifts, bench presses, overhead presses, these are your new best friends. And don't forget about progressive overload. To keep those muscles growing, you need to constantly challenge them by increasing the weight, reps, or sets you're doing over time. Mistake number 3, electrolyte imbalance, the silent muscle killer. Alright guys, let's talk electrolytes. These often overlooked minerals play a critical role in muscle function, and when you're on the carnivore diet, it's super easy to fall short. See, when you ditch carbs, your body starts producing less insulin, and while that's great for fat loss, it also means your kidneys go into overdrive flushing out excess water and electrolytes, especially sodium, potassium, and magnesium. Now, why does this matter for your muscles? Well, electrolytes are essential for muscle contractions, nerve function, and even hydration. When your electrolyte levels are out of whack, you might experience muscle cramps, weakness, fatigue, and even dizziness. Not exactly the recipe for a killer workout, right? So, how do you prevent this? Simple. Replenish those electrolytes. The easiest way to do this is by adding some good quality Himalayan salt to your meals. Don't be shy with the salt shaker. You can also supplement with potassium and magnesium if needed. I personally like to add some electrolyte powder to my water throughout the day, especially around my workouts. Mistake number 4, too much fat, not enough protein. Now, this one might ruffle some feathers, but hear me out. While the carnivore diet emphasizes animal-based foods, it doesn't have to be a free-for-all on fatty cuts of meat. I see a lot of people going overboard on the ribeyes, bacon, and butter, thinking that more fat equals more gains. While fat is an important part of the carnivore diet, it's crucial to strike a balance. If you're constantly overloading on fat and neglecting leaner protein sources, you could be setting yourself up for muscle loss. Why? Because protein is the building block of muscle tissue. It provides the essential amino acids your body needs to repair and rebuild muscle fibers after those intense workouts. When you're not eating enough protein, your body can actually start breaking down muscle tissue for fuel, which is the exact opposite of what we want. The solution? Make sure you're including plenty of lean protein sources in your diet. Think sirloin steak, chicken breasts or thighs, whitefish, and even lean ground beef. These options will give you a good dose of protein without overloading you on fat. Mistake number 5, you're not eating enough meat. Alright, I know this one sounds crazy, right? But you'd be surprised how many people fall into the trap of thinking that the carnivore diet is all about fat, and that protein doesn't really matter. They hear carnivore, and immediately picture mountains of bacon and rivers of butter. But here's the deal. Protein is king when it comes to building and preserving muscle mass. And on a diet that eliminates most other protein sources, you need to make sure you're eating enough meat to meet your body's needs. How much protein is enough? Well, a good rule of thumb is to aim for at least 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight. So if you weigh 180 pounds, that means you should be eating at least 180 grams of protein per day. That might sound like a lot, but trust me, it's doable. The key is to make protein the star of every meal. Don't be afraid to have a big old steak for breakfast, a juicy burger for lunch, and a hearty roast for dinner. If you find yourself struggling to hit your protein target with whole foods alone, you can always supplement with a high-quality protein powder. Unlock your carnivore potential. So there you have it, guys. The 5 common carnivore diet mistakes that could be sabotaging your gains. Remember, the carnivore diet isn't just about eating meat. It's about eating meat the right way to avoid losing muscle. It's about finding what works best for your body, and making adjustments along the way. Which of these mistakes have you made before? Let me know in the comments below. And if you're ready to take your carnivore game to the next level and start packing on some serious muscle, I've got you covered. Check out this next video where I break down the absolute best protein-rich carnivore foods to help you build muscle and optimize your results. Trust me, you don't want to miss it.